Hey, everyone. What's going on? Oh my gosh, I just love my music. My introduction makes me feel like I'm on a TV show, which is hopefully it'll be coming soon. How's everyone doing? Make sure you jump in. Tonight we're going to have an awesome show with guests. I'll introduce her in a minute, reintroduce her in a minute. I'm going to go over announcements and then we'll get started with the show. So please, guys, make sure you log in. If you want to be interactive in tonight's show, be sure to log on to Dr. Leslie Rogers' Facebook page, because if you're on my personal page, Leslie Rogers, or YouTube, I can't see the questions that you ask. So if you like to be interactive tonight, please log on to Dr. Leslie Rogers' Facebook page. And also make sure you click on the comment section, because we don't know you're there unless you say hello. So why not say hello? Say hello to us. We'd love to see who's there. I'm going to wait for about 2 minutes and then we're going to get started.
Sounds good. I saw you dancing when your intro music was playing.
Oh, I love it. Thanks to Antoine Chuki Codwell.
Oh, I like it.
I had to give a shout out to you, man.
Oh, that is really fancy sounding.
Uh-huh. Again, come on in, y'all.
Come in.
Comment in the comment section so we can see you're here. Yeah. Again, make sure you're signed on to Dr. Leslie Rogers' Facebook page if you'd like to ask questions. Hey, Ed, how you doing?
Hey, Ed.
Thanks for joining.
Yes, thank you.
Please tell folks about tonight's show so they can join in if they like to. We're going to get started. I'm going to start out with announcements and then we're going to get into the show, guys. So again, please, when you log in, make sure you say something in the comment box, because we won't know you're there unless you comment. Say hello. So announcement. Let's just go through announcements really quickly before we start the show. So I don't know if you guys have heard, but I've already posted on Facebook. Mental Health Talk is now a licensed LLC.
Yay! Congratulations.
You guys might be wondering why I'm so excited. I'm excited, guys, because let me tell you, I started this back in January and it's just been going forward. And I am excited because to have it as a licensed LLC means a lot to me, because I have other goals in place. And let me tell you, I have a list of goals and I'm going check. Right. And I'm not saying it's all easy, because it is not. It was not easy, but it's a lot of hard work that I put into it. So my goal is to have my own mental health talk production studio where we can have people come on even with their own things and talk about mental health around destigmatizing mental health. Also, Mental Health Talk store. Oh my gosh, that's going to launch on November 1st of this year. We have a lot of great items in the store, and I hope you guys check it out. Again, I'll be posting that link on November 1st, so make sure you look out for it. Listen, I want everybody to be wearing Mental Health Talk logo, because we are on a mission. Yes, we are on a mission, right? We are going to get this thing started. We've already got it started. We're going to talk about mental health until we're blue in the face. And we're going to start destigmatizing mental health, because it's much needed and it's long overdue. So yes, check out the Mental Health store on November 1st of this year. Mental Health Talk magazine is Mental Health Talk magazine is almost out as well. We're working on that. We're looking for content writers. If you're interested, please visit my website, www.mentalhealthtalk.live. Again, mentalhealthtalk.live, Live. If you're interested in writing content, we have people that are sponsors now, and we're continuing to look for sponsors. So if you'd like to be a sponsor, like to have an ad in a magazine, we can get pricing out for that. I am doing specials for ads. So, make sure you fill out that form on www.mentalhealthtalk.live to let me know if you're interested. So the magazine is coming out. It's exciting because I'm going to have an Ask Gina column. Remember that Ask column? It was Ask Abby or something like that.
Dear Abby. It was Dear
Dear
Abby.
Abby. Yes, yes. Well, we're going to have an Ask Gina. She's a psychiatrist, and she's going to allow people to ask questions and write
Did you
in. So
say
that's going to
Gina? Gina.
yeah, Gina,
Okay.
Dr. Gina Orton.
Nice.
So that's going to be awesome. I can't wait for that. And we're going to have other fabulous people in the magazine. We're going to spotlight folks in the magazine. So it's going to be awesome.
That's great.
Lastly, guys, this is really important. I really want to tell you guys about this because I haven't really talked much about this, but also that's in the work is Vet Speak. So whoever knows me and whoever's close to me know that my passion is with veterans and active duty military servicemen and women. And I just had to do something for them. So Vet Speak is an organization that I've created. That's an upcoming service that will offer mandated reintegration program for staff and active duty servicemen and women who have returned home to the United States from combat zone environments. Services provided will prepare them for reentry into communities. And I thought that this was really important because you really see a reintegration program in place that when veterans or when active duty servicemen and women come home to the communities, they're just thrown into the communities, but there's no bridge to kind of, give them tools to go into the community, such as community care support, or yes, there's a VA, but if you don't engage the VA is going to actively engage you. So I thought that it would be important to get a reintegration program up and running, and that's going to be coming your way soon. It's called Vet Speak. It's two programs. It's a reintegration program and it's an alternative program. The reintegration program is for active duty servicemen and women that have been deployed to war zone areas and have returned or are returning back to the U.S. And then an alternative program is actually for veterans, where veterans can go and tell their voice as an extended part of healing. So that's going to be a great program that I have coming out. So that's my side. Isn't that awesome?
Very much needed. Very much.
Yes, absolutely. So guys, tonight I've decided to do something a bit different and have a guest host, right? I'm excited because y'all, you already know who she is. She was here a couple weeks ago and you asked her to come back, so I brought her back.
That's right.
Yes. So she's a registered nurse, Maryland licensed massage therapist, infant massage instructor in training, future psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner. She's Patty Bourne, guys. And Patty is here to talk to you guys about self-care and creating a work-life balance. Who doesn't need that discussion, right? We all need that discussion.
Yes.
And so she's going to come and talk to you guys a little bit about that and offer coping skills and engage you. So please come on in, support Patty Bourne and her mission tonight to talk about self-care. I'm going to jump off, but I'll be listening in the background. Be interactive. If you have questions, please click on the comment box and ask questions. She's here to answer questions. So I'm looking forward to it. So, Patty, girl, I hand it over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Rogers. I'm so excited to be here. I had a great time last time that I was here. I guess it was a month ago now. There just wasn't enough time to talk about all the really important issues that are plaguing us right now. So people did ask for me to come back, and I was like, yeah, good, because you know me, I can talk forever. So it was really great to have the opportunity to do the first talk show takeover. And Dr. Rogers is going to go and do some awesome work for preparing for our next few episodes here of Mental Health Talk. So make sure that you tune in. She's very grateful to everybody, of course, that tunes in, but she's making some awesome content for you all. So she's left you all in my hands. And I hope that you all find this really helpful, useful. I would love participation. I would love to hear from everybody. We're talking about self-help tips and achieving that work-life balance, which is a little bit challenging, especially for people who are currently working from home. And I've heard from many people, the lines are very much blurred. Work life, home life, it's all kind of under the same roof. So people are finding themselves at work far longer and people are burning out. So it's very difficult to find that balance. Anybody that knows me knows balance is like my favorite word. Everything peacefully coexists, right? When there's balance. So how do we achieve that? First, I wanted to just talk first about what is self-care. So many definitions when you look it up. One that I just kind of pulled out was self-care means taking care of oneself with behaviors that promote health, prevent disease, and maintain health. And I was like, okay, well, that's definitely true. But I wanted it to just be far more basic than that. It is basically, for me, emotional, physical, psychological, and spiritual health. That is self-care in a nutshell. And when all of those areas are taken care of and are in a good place, well, then we're doing great. But I don't know how many people actually know that about 75 to 85% of all diseases, might even be a little higher than that, are created by stress. So being at work all the time and not having those balances in place really can ultimately make us sick. And that's not what we want. As a nurse, I definitely try to promote self-care for all my patients. As a massage therapist, same thing. Basically, what is it that recharges your batteries? What is it that makes you feel refreshed? And it's going to look slightly different for everybody. I'll start with me. I am being pulled in 100 million directions. I'm involved in so many things, but I always make sure that I do certain things like get my pedicure. That's a must. Does everybody like getting their feet rubbed? No, absolutely not. But what is it that helps you? What works for you? And some people have said to me, my favorite self-help tip is meditating for 5 minutes on my lunch break. Some people have said to me, I just like to go home with a glass of my favorite red wine and just watch some trash TV. Whatever it is, it looks slightly different for everyone. However, I think part of the problem, I think, for some women is they don't give themselves permission to take care of themselves. So there's a lot of guilt. I don't think men suffer with that as much, but women most certainly do. And I think a really important piece of this puzzle is learning how to say no. So we're very overcommitted. We have so many things on our agendas. We have things that we're just scheduling, 2-3 weeks out, a month out. And whenever you talk to anybody, it's pretty much the same answer. Oh, I'm just so busy. I'm so busy. We need downtime and we need time for ourselves. I don't know if anybody's heard of the analogy of when an airplane loses altitude and the masks come down. What do they say? They say, first, the parent takes the mask and they take the oxygen so that they can help their children. I think most people instinctively would want to immediately give the oxygen to their children. However, if we don't take care of ourselves, then we can't take care of others. That's basically what it boils down to. And I'm a really big believer in that. So we have to recharge our batteries. We have to do the things that make us smile, make us happy, make us feel fulfilled. And what exactly is that? Not everybody knows. So I challenge people to sit down and think about that. What is it that they would like to do? What things are fun to them? What are their hobbies? What sorts of things are, for some people, it's giving. Like some people love to volunteer and that makes them feel great. So find out what those things are and then find a way to incorporate them on a consistent basis. So that's the other thing. Let's not wait until we're burning the candle at both ends and we can no longer get out of bed. So let's try and do these things on a consistent basis to kind of keep us in a good place. I really think that some people have a difficult time saying no when it comes to work. So I'm going to give you more tasks, going to give you more responsibilities. Hey, won't you take on this project? I want you on this board or this committee, and I want you to oversee this. And we don't say no, but in essence, we're saying yes. And then we blink and we have so many things on our plates. It's overwhelming. So when is enough enough? And how do we say no without jeopardizing our jobs, without jeopardizing friendships? Some people may feel they're jeopardizing promotions or advancement at work if they do not participate in these committees or these special projects that they're being asked to be a part of. But we really have to know what is our limit. And I think it's better to be able to say, I really would love to help you with that right now. This just isn't a good time, or I just can't fit one more thing at this time. I would love to help you maybe later on, or there's so many ways to creatively just kind of say, hey, thanks for thinking of me, but I just can't. And I think it's better to initially just be honest and let people know that you just can't do it than to take it on, not be able to produce whatever result it is that they're looking for you to produce, and let them down. That definitely would be a bad thing. So making sure that you know what those limitations are for you. What are you comfortable with? There's so many facets to this that we can go into. I'm going to try to be brief this evening, but what does self-care look like? There's so many parts to it. It can be as simple as making sure that you drink water every day, doing things that are good for you, not forsaking your own health or your own well-being for work or other commitments. Because when we feel good, we're able to function better, right? And that just kind of is a no-brainer. Sleep is a big one. I think sleep hygiene is something we may have touched on before when I was on previously. I can't remember, but I think sleep hygiene was one of those. And our sleep is just crucial. I am not great about sleeping a decent number of hours, and I'll be the first one to admit that. But definitely in a perfect world, I am going to get better at that. So our sleep is so important. It's difficult when we've got all our electronics all the time. Again, we're working from home, so we've got our office now in our bedroom. Sometimes those lines will get blurred and it just gets really messy. My suggestion, of course, is try to keep the bedroom just for sleeping. It's not for doing work. It's not for watching TV. It's not for anything but sleeping. That can be challenging for some people, but we definitely know that lights can stimulate our brains to stay up or stay awake longer. And that, of course, means our blue lights from our phones, from our tablets, but also our TVs are really not the best place. It's not in the bedroom. So getting adequate sleep is a huge piece. And I know that it sounds very simple, perhaps even trivial, but it really is huge. And if we're not sleeping properly, well, our immune system really doesn't work the way it's supposed to. And then we're having to fight off illness on top of everything else. So not a good combination. I know it's easier said than done, especially in 2021, but you can make small goals and try to achieve them little by little. We can't reinvent the wheel all of a sudden from one day to the next, but by making small incremental changes, I think it makes a huge difference. Watching your consumption of caffeine, watching how you eat. So we're really not putting good, wholesome food into our bodies. We're really putting in food that is convenient for us, not really the healthiest, though. So I think that it really does affect us in the long run if we aim more for more wholesome foods and healthier options. And of course, staying active. It's hard when you're a desk jockey. Sometimes, like me, I'm just at a desk for hours and hours, and it's not the best. But they do say that Sitting is the new smoking. I've heard so many times. It's really not ideal for us. So moving your body, getting out into the fresh air, getting sunlight is just so incredibly beneficial. So doing things like this, does it work for everybody? No, it doesn't work for everyone, but these are just some suggestions, some little things that you all can do. Um, so it says here, it's especially difficult to do work while sitting on your bed because you get sleepy. Yeah, so that's really, you're really not being the most effective there. It's super comfy. I am guilty of this too. I'm tired of sitting in the same place, so I will go and change locations and try to change my scenery a little bit. But no, the bed. I know I'm not the most effective doing work while sitting up. Yeah, instantly get sleepy. Moving your body again. It was hard for a while when we were in the pandemic. All of the gyms were closed. And we started to all gain our like COVID-15, or well, for some of us it's like COVID-30, but definitely getting out and just moving around is even helpful. Some of us are not comfortable going to the gym yet. That's understandable, but moving your body every day, being seated at a desk really is not the best thing. And I'm going to be the first one to say I am not a fan of eating lunch at your desk. That drives me bananas. So I don't think that's really a lunch break. If you're just eating in your office at your desk that you're already seeing for 8+ hours a day, that's not really a lunch to me. Some people like to do that, feel like they can work and eat lunch. No, I really think we should have all of our senses on our meals, enjoy them, and enjoy our mental break from work. I'm not a fan. If you can get out and eat your lunch, or eat your lunch really quickly and then go somewhere else, a change of scenery is really important. How do you speak to children about self-care? It's interesting. In my house, my children just know, hey, I have to do this for myself. It's just important. Moms, dads, you're going to be better parents if you take care of yourself. You're setting an example. You're teaching your children that it's important to take care of their own needs. And I do it all the time. My kids will just know, I have to go do this. I have to go do this alone without children. Like, this is my me time. They totally get it. They will many times say, oh, I don't feel like doing X, Y, and Z, or I'd rather do this instead. Go, that's great. Listen to what you're feeling and do that. Do we have to be productive each and every day? No. Some days my children will say, I'm just not going to do anything today. I'm just going to be a bum, is what they say. I'm just going to be okay, be a bum. That's great. We don't have to be productive every single day, every single minute of every day. So definitely lead by example, even if it's not all the time. Maybe it's infrequently, maybe it's something small, doesn't matter. Just plant the seed now, let them know. You will become an adult, you will have your own family, you'll have to juggle your work life, your personal life. You don't get lost in the process. You have to continue to meet your own needs to be the most productive person that you can be. And that's really crucial. Can't continue to just work and work and work and work and not do the things that genuinely make you happy. Your brain needs a break sometimes, whether that be with friends, whether that be going to hear live music, whether it's going and getting your fire pit lit and inviting your neighbors over, like whatever it is for you, make sure that you're finding the time to do that guilt-free. I know that a lot of people will say, oh, well, get a massage. Like, it seems like so cliche. Being a massage therapist is not cliche for me. It actually is true. I do think everybody should be getting massages regularly. However, I know that's not everybody's thing, and I respect that. But whatever it is that you do for yourself, do it. Be with friends, be by yourself, put on your sweatpants and watch some cheesy movie, whatever it is, plan your next trip, plan your next getaway, journal. There are tons of things that can be done. I asked a couple of people at work, what is their favorite self-care tip? Half of them did not have one. That's not good. So I would love to hear from people and just hear what their self-care tips are, whatever their favorite thing is. If they don't have an idea, or if it's something they would like to implement now, that's great. I would love to hear that too. Let's definitely make it interactive. And if you need help in some areas or not really sure what needs to be tweaked a little bit, then say that too. I mean, it's that we're all in different places on this journey. So I wanted to just read a couple of, if I could, relaxation videos. Yes, the mindful movement. Oh, you just reminded me. That's right. There's so many great apps. So many great apps for people's phones. But yes, relaxation videos, that's a good one. Apps for our phones, they are abundant. So many that you can get for meditation, for um, yoga, anything, just you name it. Um, I happen to be a very, very green, new not yoga, meditation practitioner. And I really, really enjoy it. It was very difficult for me in the beginning, definitely something new. I didn't grow up knowing what meditation was, definitely was not exposed to it at all, but I've become a huge fan. So daily yoga practice, walking, your are your self-care tips. Yes, that's right. A lot of people will, um, you reminded me just now, walk their pets or be with their pets. That's like so incredibly therapeutic for so many people, and really helpful. So thank you for sharing that tip. And some people are saying creating with their hands and building things. Yes. So whatever those things are for you, thank you for sharing your tips, guys. It's going to look slightly different for everybody. Some people are going to say a bubble bath. Yeah, that's not my thing, but it is for some people, and that's okay. Um, Lots of people will rely on their pets a lot. If you have a pet, pets are great for de-stress. Just put your, if it's a dog, put your pet on a leash and just go for a walk or go to the dog park or meet some new people just for a change of scenery. So that can be really helpful and therapeutic for people. We just cannot continue to think about work and have work email on our phones, and we're at dinner and we're scrolling through our phones and we're, keeping up with work emails. Like it's too much. So I also am not a fan of getting email on your phone, your work email, but that's just me. I think that is completely overwhelming. I know that about myself. I will not put work email on my phone. Nope. It will just have to wait till I'm back in the office. And I think lots of people are probably guilty of that. They will be on at work all 7 days. Doesn't matter if it's the weekend, they hear their phone go off and there they are checking to see what the latest. No. So having your boundaries really well defined, like this is family time or this is downtime. I don't check work email on the weekends. However that looks for you, really, really important that you decide what that's going to look like. But that's part of self-care. Having some really well-defined boundaries is a perfect example of self-care. And I think that some people will agree. They can work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and they're fine. And then some of us are just like, listen, I work 9 to 5. 5 minutes after 5, I'm done. I'm not staying one more minute. Everybody is different. So for me, I feel like when it's quitting time, it's quitting time. And I don't check work emails. I don't pick up work phone calls. Like it's my time. So What are those boundaries like for everybody else? Are some people kind of wishy-washy with them, only enforce their boundaries once in a while, have trouble enforcing them? I think we're all in different places, but I would love to hear that. Yes, people do yoga daily. Yoga is awesome. Another great form of meditation, if you will. Yoga's great. Yoga can be done even in a chair. You can modify it so many different ways for any age, any fitness level. So if you've never looked into yoga, so many things that you can look into on the internet that are free. You don't have to go join a school or a class. Definitely check some things out that are free. And try different instructors. Everybody's different. Everybody has their own little flavor. So see what works for you. Yeah, self-care is also for men. I think we heard from a man earlier that says, yeah, I like to do things with my hands. Whatever that is, men are allowed to also have their downtime, whatever it is that they're excited about, passionate about. Yeah, absolutely. Should not be working all the time. So what is it? Taking on some DIY project? Is it, for some people, it's very zen to cut the grass. Men like to just get on their riding mower and just cut grass. And that's just very zen to them. And that's great. Some people will take that very seriously. Like some people like to garden too. And I shouldn't just say for men or for women, it's for whatever gender. Being outside is wonderful. That really helps to ground people and help them feel centered again, is being out in nature. So that's a really big one. Men play sports a lot too, but women do also. I know someone who just told me the other night, oh, I can't meet with you on Thursday because Thursday is my roller skating night. And I went, your roller skating night? No, you roller skated. She's like, yeah, I just started again. And I roller skate every Thursday with my girlfriends. And I was like, that's really cool. I don't roller skate. I would be in a body cast if I roller skated. Not my thing. I'm very, very dangerous just being in sneakers. So for her though, she loves it. And I'm like, good for you that you know what you like to do and that you look forward to that. You look forward to that downtime and you're feeding off of your friend's energy. So that's wonderful. It helps her feel rejuvenated and she doesn't miss it. That's the other important thing. If you are performing your self-care, it needs to be a standing appointment. And I say appointment loosely, of course. It needs to be a standing appointment that you don't reschedule, that you don't move. And you say, oh, I'm so sorry. I can't on Thursdays because I go roller skating with my girlfriends. And nobody will make you change it, postpone it. Oh, maybe I can skip this Thursday. No, make sure that you are firm and you allow yourself your time to do your thing. It's really, really important. Yes, that's what I'm basically saying. Thank you. It was said a little bit better. I add self-care to my calendar. Yes. So make it a recurring event on your calendar. I read somewhere it was a great tip that said, you set an alarm so that you are mindful at that moment where you are and what you're doing. Mindfulness is so incredibly important. We're on autopilot all the time. We're just going. I'm sure many of you have driven to work and sometimes not remembered the drive to work. Like we're just on autopilot all the time. So mindfulness is so incredibly important. And it really is just to stop and just be and just take in everything around you, the sights, the sounds, the smells, everything, and just be in the moment. Really powerful. I think a lot of us probably forget to do it, but by setting an alarm sometimes that can help. So yes, put your self-care in your calendar, and make it a standing appointment. It just does not ever change, because I say this to my clients and to my patients all the time. If you don't make yourself a priority, nobody else will. Nobody's saying, I really should take Patty to get her pedicure this month because she really needs it. No, no one is doing that. It has to be you. You have to be the one to do it. You have to put yourself first, and it is okay. As a matter of fact, it's necessary. It's a priority. We are definitely pulling ourselves, like I said, in so many different directions. We're supposed to be so many things to so many people. We can't really do that effectively if we're not taking care of ourselves and doing our own maintenance. We have our vehicles that need maintenance. We need maintenance too. So super important. Just trying to look here through the comments and see if I missed anything. This is a great discussion. I'm so excited. I could talk about this for days. We could be here for days just talking about all of it. There's so many things that we could be discussing. And let's see, did I miss anybody? Nope, I got them all. I really wanted to, I don't know how we are for time. I think we're still okay. We have a few minutes. If you have any other last things that you would like to comment, anything that's worked for you, this has been really beneficial to me. I like to journal. I tell people to journal all the time. If you're not a fan of journaling or if you've never tried it, I say, put everything down on paper. Just purge everything. You had a rough day, put it all down. Write as if no one is ever going to read it and just get it all out there. It is a great feeling to be able to purge just everything that you are feeling or thinking and not have to worry about being judged or anybody finding out, and then just burn it. So dump it all, get it all out there, stop carrying it around with you. It gets so heavy. And of course, I don't mean this literally, I mean it figuratively. It gets heavy carrying around all this stuff. So just dump it all. And then if you're concerned about someone reading it, I always tell people just burn it. And it's gone and it's done and you don't have to pick it up anymore. Really, really helps a lot of people. I've definitely found it beneficial many, many times, and I've recommended it to many people who've come back and told me, that was a really great tip. I tried that. You're right. It works really well. So definitely start journaling. Go get a cheap notebook at the dollar store. It doesn't have to be anything fancy with your initials on the front or what have you. Just go get a cheap notebook at the dollar store and just start putting stuff down. I think a great tip is just writing down at the end of the day 3 things that you're grateful for. Just get into the habit of practicing gratitude. Good, bad, or indifferent, we just need to be grateful at the end of the day that we even got to experience these things. So practicing gratitude is definitely something that I really, really try to practice daily. Taking the time to list all the things in my life I'm grateful. Yeah, exactly. Oh, if you want to list them all, yeah, list them all. For me, I'm super grateful for so many things. I would be up writing till the wee hours of the morning. So 3 things, 5 things, 10 things you're grateful for. I think that's a really, really great practice to get into. Let's see, not for everybody. But a long drive or motorcycle ride does wonders. Yeah, so a lot of people love to do that. I don't know. I'm sure I'm not alone. I love to crank my music and just go for a drive. Just drive wherever. Sing at the top of my lungs. People look at me like I'm nuts. I'm sure. Doesn't matter. Just for me, that does a lot. And so the comment was going for a motorcycle ride. I don't have a motorcycle, but I bet that is super fun. And is it for everybody? No, of course not. But if you know that that is what you really, really like to do, do it. Do it. Allow yourself to do it and not feel badly about it. It's a great thing that you know what works for you. I think a lot of people don't even know what it is that they need to do to recharge themselves. So you're one step ahead of the game. Even if you're not always doing it consistently, at least you know, and that awareness is half the battle. So thank you for that. Let's see, did I miss anything else? No. Yeah, so I mean, there's tons of things. Like I said, we can continue to talk about this, but um, allow yourselves to decline, to say no. Let's just stop taking on more and more and more responsibilities, more and more obligations. Let's start saying no and being comfortable with saying no. We don't need to apologize. Um, yeah, I appreciate you asking. Can't do it right now. This isn't a good time. There were some really creative things I saw on the internet that was like, somebody said, no way, Jose. Like, just whatever it is, nah, nah, nah. Somebody wrote, whatever it is, you really can't say no. There's tons of ways to say no without saying no. Um, yeah, so there are people that do have trouble saying no, and that really is one of the first things that I thought about when I decided to guest host for Dr. Rogers. I know a lot of people have trouble. I have trouble saying no plenty of times. Um, but we really need to just think about being authentic. That's my whole thing is let's be authentic. Let's be true to ourselves. We want to be able to do this or to help with this issue, but we really just can't. Are we going to forego sleep? Are we going to forego, going food shopping and we have nothing to eat so that we can get this done? Like, we really have to think, is that really the best way to proceed? We have to be authentic and really just know we can't sacrifice ourselves in order to complete a task or to help somebody out, because then we're really just betraying ourselves at that point. That would not be a good practice to get into. Some of us already do it, and we probably do it subconsciously, but when you know better, you do better. I kind of feel like we probably are not doing the best that we can for ourselves. We're doing ourselves a disservice when we do that. So I guess think about your why. Why are you doing it? Is it a sense of obligation, or is it genuinely a sense of, I want to help? This is fulfilling for me. This is one of my core values that I hold very near and dear to my heart. So I must participate. Well, that's different. But if you do that, sometimes you have to do some juggling. If I take this on, can I let something else go? Can I kind of hand this off to somebody else or delegate something to somebody else? Because we're human. We have our limitations. We can only do so much. So I just say be authentic and true to yourself first and foremost. It's not selfish at all. It is self-care, but it's self-preservation. It's taking care of number one all the time. So that was a really great one. Thank you for asking that one. Hope that gave a little bit of insight, or at least my 2 cents on that one. I think we're coming close to the end of the show. I don't know if anybody has some last things they want to share. This time went by so fast. I know it's because I talk a lot. I get really excited about this stuff. I love talking about it. I love being able to empower people and let them know, listen, I know it seems like you're not in control and that life is just happening to you. I promise you that's not the case. Even when it seems as if you do not have a choice, you always have a choice. And saying no is not saying anything sometimes is saying yes, that you agree to do something. So speak up and definitely understand that it's okay. We have to teach people what our boundaries are, and we have to enforce them lots of times for our own well-being. And when we're not stretched so thin, we can then be better parents, be better coworkers, be better aunts and uncles, be better neighbors and friends to everybody else. So it definitely has a cascading effect, I feel like. Dr. Rogers is entrusting me with her show. We kind of just tried this just to see how it went. I hope you all got some helpful tips out of it. I hope that you all got maybe some clarity on some things, or Maybe it made you think about something you've not thought about before. So that's all. Creating awareness is an awesome thing. We don't always have to have answers. Sometimes creating awareness is enough. So if anybody has anything else they would like to add, I just want to say very quickly, make sure that you go to Dr. Rogers' website. I want to read it because I don't want to get it wrong. www.mentalhealthtalk.live. If you want to be a guest on her show, fill out the guest form, and definitely check her out on YouTube and Facebook and subscribe. Thank you. I'm so glad you guys all came out. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thanks again for tuning in. Make sure that you tune in next week. Dr. Rogers is going to have something else for you guys. I'm not sure what it is. I'm sure she's keeping it under wraps to build the suspense. But thank you so much for allowing me to come out again. I had a great time, and I hope you guys did too. Thank you.